Welcome to a very beautiful November day in the middle of Monaco. We're here to test this. It's the Infiniti Sebastian Vettel FX. It's been tuned by the Formula 1 driver himself, so he's had a little play under the bonnet. It's got a 5-litre V8, develops 414 brake horsepower, it does 0 to 60 in about 5.6 seconds. It's also covered in carbon fibre. Okay, let's take a look at what makes the FX Vettel edition a little bit more special than the normal version. They haven't really tweaked the output of it, so it's 414 brake horsepower, but the exhaust has helped give it a little bit more power. It does 0 to 60, 5.6 seconds, but they've also tweaked the top speed. That's one of the things that Vettel had insisted upon. He wanted it to be a little bit faster on the autobahns. So this thing will do about 180 miles an hour. You get lots of extra stuff inside as well as on the outside, and most of it's carbon fibre. They made this with Red Bull Racing, so it's proper, genuine carbon fibre. It's no plastic look-alike in here. It looks pretty cool actually, and it does make it feel a little bit more special than a standard car. You also get Alcantara roof lining. These leather seats have got special purple stitching, but he hasn't really messed about with them. You get a nice bit of Vettel branding on it, but they're still just as comfortable as a standard car. They haven't really messed about with the handling either. It rides 20mm lower, but it's still very, very comfortable on the road. I mean, this is an SUV at the end of the day, and it still drives and feels like an SUV. One thing I particularly like is this engine exhaust loud button. It says exhaust valve on it there. You press that when you're going along and it makes the exhaust sound even louder. I mean, that's another thing that Vettel wanted. He wanted this thing to sound special. It certainly does when it's on the road. Also quite like the fact you get Red Bull with it. I'm just wondering whether that's an optional extra as well, that they constantly replenish it every time you go back to your Infiniti dealer. I probably think that's not the case. Okay, I'm here with Terry Stephen, who runs the PR for UK for Infiniti. Tell me a little bit about the FX Vettel and what makes it really special.
Well, the amazing tie-up I think with this car really is how it all got together with Sebastian Vettel and Shiro Nakamura, our chief designer. Obviously we had the tie-up with Red Bull for the Formula 1 sponsorship. It was over a conversation that the two guys were having. Sebastian Vettel liked the FX, he wants an FX as his own car, but obviously quite naturally wants to tune it in his own way, in his own style. And the conversation grew into being, yes, we can change it for what he would like, but also we will produce a small number of cars for people to purchase. We're only producing 150 of these cars across the whole of Europe, so it's not just the UK, so 50 in Western Europe, 50 in Russia and 50 in the Middle East.
So it's the kind of exclusivity that you're selling here, really?
Yeah.
Because people are going to ask, you know, £50,000 more than a standard FX, there or thereabouts. How can you justify it?
Well, on those two levels, really, it's exclusivity is obviously it's number one. The chance of you seeing another one around is very remote, and also the other thing to get across here is the components that are used here. We've got quite a bit of carbon fitted to the car, so what you see here really is the same or very similar to what's used in the race cars.
So this is proper carbon fibre?
Absolutely, yeah.
No plastic?
No, there's no additions put into it. When you buy this car, you also get an exclusive package included. First of all, you get an iPad with a carbon back to it. The idea of the iPad is it will come with a standard app where you can follow the production of your own car, where it is in the system. Plus, you get a sort of money you can't buy opportunity or an experience. Now that will vary depending on when you buy your car. As an example, people already put a deposit down on the car. They had a driving experience in Castanet in France, where Sebastian Vettel himself, Sebastian Vettel, were in a car taking customers around the racetrack. We put that together. They drove around the racetrack alongside the Formula 1 world champion, double world champion, possibly soon triple world champion. Fingers crossed.
And am I right in thinking that spoiler's £4,800 extra?
Yeah, it is. The reason it's like that, it was quite simple. That you know, when we first showed this car earlier in the year in Geneva, a few of the first customers that came and saw the car wanted the car, was keen to have the car without the rear spoiler. So it makes sense for us then to provide it as an option.
So in terms of that £100,000, is there anything else they can spec up on top of that? I mean, will we see £150,000 Vettel FXs?
But not through us. It is what it is, and that's the package, and the only option you can have is the rear spoiler.
Oh, okay. So basically everything, all the extras, the sat nav, Bluetooth is all included.
Absolutely. Yeah. We don't start a base car and then there's a big menu to choose what you want. It really is how it is, and what you see with all the carbon inside, seats re-trimmed, altogether I think the whole package is quite a sound,
So you get the works.
proposition. You do.
You get the works.
Yeah, you even get the SP badge put on the side for you free.
Oh, so kind.
We don't charge extra for the
So
badge.
very kind. If you're looking for an SUV with a bit of exclusivity, it doesn't get much more exclusive than the Vettel FX Infiniti. However, I'm struggling to see exactly where that extra money is going over a standard FX. £100,000 is pretty expensive. It doesn't matter how much carbon you put on the car, that's still a lot of cash. However, if you look at it like Infiniti do, as you're buying into a special edition, a limited production run of 200 cars, then maybe, just maybe, it's worth that extra money.